Morning everybody. It's the 4th of September. It's a Thursday, and we're not at work. We're going fishing, which is brilliant. And today we're off to Acorn. It's the Ace of Acorn practice match. So the Ace of Acorn is in 2 days' time on the Saturday. So I want to go down and just use this obviously as a bit of a practice. There's 28 fishing, which is exactly the same as the final. We're fishing the same times and everything. So it's a proper practice match, isn't it? You know, and that's how it should be. Everything should emulate, you know, how the day will be. Everything bar obviously the weather, because that can be very different, and the pegs you draw and so on. So we're going to go down and try and do our best. Another little update as well. Thank you all for continuing to support me. It's meant an awful lot. This has been quite a little journey for me, because I'm not a sort of whiz kid on the computer or anything. It still takes me ages, which is why I'm so far behind with the videos to edit a video and that. But I finally sort of made enough through you wonderful people watching the adverts. You don't make much with these things, mind. I don't know what people think you make with these, but it's not enough to cover my time by a long chalk. But I enjoy doing it. I want to do it, and as long as you're enjoying it, I'll continue to do it. So I took off the super thanks and things quite a while back. Thank you for some of the people that did give to me through that though, but it never really sat right with me. The only way I make income through these videos, which are free, they're free for you guys to watch. The only way I make money through them is through the adverts. So if you could put up with those, if you need to skip them, I understand. If you can watch them or just have them on in the background while you make a cup of tea, even better. But that's the only way we make income. But I'm going to go and buy a new camera and a microphone at last, and it's going to make it a lot easier for me to edit, and I think it's going to be better viewing for you guys, because by wearing a microphone you're going to hear I can say what I'm thinking about doing next whilst we're there on the bank, rather than me narrate over it. And like I say now, with videos I'm behind on, it's hard to remember sometimes what actually happened on some of those matches, and it's not as authentic, is it? I don't think so. I do hope you enjoy those. I'll get and purchase it soon. I'm going to have to learn how to use it first, so it might be a few weeks, but we'll get there. Certainly within sort of 6-8 weeks we should be using it. So thank you for your support. It's you guys who've allowed me to buy that. I don't keep any money for myself. I try and put it back into this sort of equipment and things to do these videos. So thank you so much. Let's get on down to Acorn. We'll go in the bridge, have some breakfast, meet a few of the other qualifiers. All the qualifiers, I think, more or less, who are fishing Saturday are going to be there today. It's going to be a really tough one to win. Des is there as well. Brilliant, isn't he? Very difficult to beat, and I've noticed he's won the last 2 matches down there as well, so he's getting in tune with it. It's going to be very hard to win. Going to need a little bit of luck on our sides. Our first fish of the match is fell to a 4mm hard pellet over cab potted 4 mils across. No surprise to you all there, I'm sure. And the weather's cooled down considerably, so we're not pinging too many pellets across, and I'm not cab potting too many either. Um, fish don't like it when it drops quite a few degrees in a very short period of time, and it has done. Nice soft elastic across, same as we always do. Rig line's 016 now, hook length 012. Sounds all very light, but it's all about getting the bite across at Acorn. You have to remember with these fish, um, there is nowhere for these fish to hide. Absolutely nowhere. Everywhere can be reached on the lake, and these fish are fished for 3 times a week, match wise, that is. There's pleasure anglers in between those 3 days, so these fish are cagey. They've seen it all before, haven't they? I could tell early it was going to be a little bit trickier, like we were talking about temperature dropping, etc. Because it took me about 5 to 6 minutes to get this bite. And when I drip in the pellets, I'm not getting a reaction immediately. I'm not getting any movement on the float. It's not like they're rushing in to get those pellets. They're not competing like that now, like they were in the warm weather. So all those things are little signs, aren't they, for just how it's fishing and how much more patient you might have to be. So flicking a few sixes on that top kit plus short four line. I've got about 4.5 foot on that line. And the elastic we're using across now, I've changed the hydro and I'm using the white hollow elasto. Giving it a try, putting it through its paces. I've been the last few weeks. It's quite nice, to be honest. Very forgiving, very soft. When you're fishing like an 012 hook length, I think it's perfect. So I'm building that pinging line, as you can see. Not too much feed going in. Just being regular with it. So we've had a pretty reasonable start, really, haven't we? Just cab potting across there whilst priming that pinging line, and that 6 mil hard pellet line as well. Um, and I can feel this line needing a break soon, so I'm going to be trying those couple of lines. And that foul hooker then sort of really just solidifies what we were saying. Definitely needs a little bit of a break. So I put a cab pot on with my pinging rig now, just so I can cab pot a little bit of bait on that line while I'm resting it, and then we'll try over that ping line. Ideally, you want to bite pretty quick on that sort of as the bait's dropping through, but the wind is making it a little bit awkward now, and also with that breeze on the water, I'm not sure they're even going to hear that little pellet when I sort of try to lie the rig in. It's far from instant the response we were not the response we were sort of hoping for, really. Yeah, foul hooked. It's just not quite, doesn't feel quite right. So we've gone back out to have another go, led the rig in. But yeah, again, look, it's not feeling right at all, to be honest. I'm not sure we're going to carry on with that. So we have a quick chuck on the feeder now. And that's really because I don't really expect that short line to be very good yet. And I want some thinking time. I don't want to go doing anything daft, putting a lot of bait in somewhere or trying to catch on my short lines too early and things. So we chuck the feeder out to give us a bit of thinking time. We've got one on now, but that's actually the third cast we've had on it. Um, so I don't think it's particularly right. But like I say, it gives us that little bit of time to have a little bit of a think, didn't it? Sometimes you want that. The decisions you make in matches is, well, it's massive, especially on these small venues like this where the fish are very cute. You can end your match so quickly by making a couple of wrong choices. So we're searching the peg now, thinking about our next sort of move, if you like. Um, just throw a few pellets there, and then I'm just trying just a cad pot of that ground bait down the edge with some maggots on the hook. Just see if there's a carp around. So we persevere on this short line as long as we're adding a few fish, really. A cross might yield us one or two more carp, but it's definitely slowed. And I just want to keep putting something in the net in this sort of middle hours before our sort of real short lines kick in. That's good news. Catching your first fish down the edge gives you confidence of catching more later, doesn't it? So we go back in again, just have a look. Might be a bit too early to get more than one fish out of there. So there was another one there, but it's foul hooked, and that tells me a little bit of a little story, if you like. The ground bait we're using is damp and down, um, but it isn't really damp. So I'm just feeding another cab pot to try and draw another fish. And then what I'm going to do is dampen down what I got on my bait box there even more. Now, if I go too far with that or mess it up, it doesn't matter because I got a ground bait bowl full of ground bait, and I can transport more from that into that bait tub and then wet it up how I want to. But I do think it needs to be just a little bit wetter, and that way when I cab pot it in and I'm actually fishing over that cab pot, it goes down, straight down like a stone, creates a little bit of attraction on the bottom. Carp comes in to suck it up. My maggots are in it, right on top of it, bit like a method feeder if you like, and they suck a lot in. And it avoids foul hooking. The drier mix I have in my ground bot bowl, I don't really want to change it because I might want to put some of that in to attract fish later. But if when I'm attracting them with that drier mix, I don't want to be fishing in there because of foul hooking. Well, this is a bit of a bonus, isn't it? We've dropped back in on that short line in front, 4.5 foot of water, and we've managed to hook a carp. We've got a few skimmers and a few eyed on it. Now we've got a carp, which is ideal. So this rig is 018 main line, 014 hook length, um, and I've got an 18 LWG PTFE Guru hook on there, and a couple of white maggots. So back out on that line again, just to see if a few carp have lined up. This eyed is a signal again, isn't it? It's a little storyteller again. Every fish tells you something, and this one's telling us there's no more carp there at the moment. So we feed this a little heavier now with maggots, and I intend to drop on this straight away now, because sometimes when you feed maggots like that, carp comes straight in, believe it or not, and slurp those maggots straight up. So I'm going to drop straight on it just to see if that's the case. And obviously another eye tells us it's not. Which is fine. At least we know now to feed it and leave it. So back down the edge, hoping the damper ground bait introduced is the sort of the right thing to do. It seems to have worked. It's brilliant in a match, isn't it? When you fathom a little something out, and like I say, the fish tell you a little story. You figure something out from that to go on to catch more fish. It's very satisfying, isn't it, match fishing? When it goes your way, anyway. So back across after that fish down the edge, it was straight across because they're not lined up down there yet. So I didn't want to waste any time. Like I said, I want to keep putting fish in the net. It's very easy to get a bit giddy with that, catching one or two down the edge like we have, and then think you can just sit there waiting. And people do. And before you know what happened, 20 minutes, can go by and you've not put anything in the net. And the competition down here is just too strong to do that. You can't afford to do it. Your time management has to be very good. Oh, pulled out as I netted him. Lovely. So still the same across, just 4 mils over 4 mils. Not really fast. I know it looks fast because I cut time out, but yeah, but I'm catching, two or three before having to rest it and leave it for sort of 15 to 20 minutes, having to look somewhere else. So it's all good. Looking around, I think we're doing okay. Take some time out now to feed a few micros across because it goes away from us altogether. And the micros can hold the carp for longer, so I can do other things now and know any carp over there that come over it will sort of stay there. I've always found micros at Acorn draw fish. The only trouble is they're horrible to fish over if you try and fish over them straight away. So a nice little run between our two edges. As I was thinking of sort of our very short lines now, is carp are definitely present. So that top kit line at 45 degrees, exactly the same tackle as we were using on our top kit in short four, um, and with maggots, and then our two edges, um, and that's what we're really concentrating on. Not many big fish I've noticed, but plenty of fish, so I don't mind that. I never worry about that down the edge. We lift into a funny, slow little bite now. Um, oh, that's not a great sign, is it? It's a little eel. Don't see many of those down here. Oh, another one. Oh, at least he's a little bit bigger, isn't he? But yeah, wasn't expecting that, I have to be honest. Onto that maggot line again. We managed to hook a carp. So as soon as we've hooked one, we throw some maggots in. And this just keeps us ticking over nicely, doesn't it? Just after that edge sort of went a bit funny, couple of eels on it. Um, yeah, very strange that. So nice to drop on another line that we've been priming and able to hook a carp. And when we left that edge line, we fed a little bit more of that ground bait that's out of the bowl. So it's that little bit drier. Not really dry, it's quite damp ground bait, but it's not as damp as we're putting in that cab pot. That's really, really claggy. This is just normal sort of damp ground bait. So it just helps attract fish a little bit. Not catching many big fish, like I say earlier, but I don't mind that. Like I say, keep the bites coming. Just all about keep putting in the net. Sometimes people sit with worms over bigger pots of ground bait, and it can work. You can catch bigger fish, but I find you're waiting so long. For me, at the moment, um, so only that one carp as you can see on that top kit line. But as I was saying, for me, treble maggot on this line, on this top kit line now, treble maggot down the edge, just keeps it all simple, doesn't it? Same bait everywhere, and everything likes eating the maggots. If carp are there, they can't resist them. That's good after a couple of eels. And something else worth sort of noting is we're using the same elastic as we always have and the same tackle for our sort of edges and things. And the longer you do that, the longer you fish with the same tackle and not keep changing brands and such, the more proficient you'll become and you'll be faster like landing fish and that. And I don't mean pulling them hard. You'll just know the tackle and you're just able to land fish quickly. You don't want to be breaking on fish, pulling out a fish, tangling rigs, but you do want to be proficient. And the tackle we're using down the edge here is the Keep Nets Direct Hollow Green Elastic, 0.20 mainline, 016 hook length, B911 size 16 hook. Really simple setup. Oh, and the floats are zero point 0.4 Malmum Elco. I use those for up to about 2.5 foot. When I get past that, I look for a different pattern, something a little bit longer. So it's handy, in it. One or two fish showing on our left edge as well. That's absolutely, couldn't ask for anything more really than that. Started catching from down two edges. Totally different depths though. The one to me right's about 28 inches, and I'd say the one on me left's more sort of 30 inches. I know it only sounds 2 inches, but you can't use the same rig for that. And I won't use the same rig pulling the float up and down 2 inches. Um, yeah, yeah, you only got to forget one time you drop in, and yeah, that's all the pot. So it's two separate rigs for me. Tell the summer's gone, that little bit of shade come over us, and I can feel that temperature dropping a little bit there. So near to the end of the match now. It's not been hectic, but it's just been nice, steady fishing. I think we're doing okay. And like I was saying earlier, like the changing of the season slightly, isn't it? That temperature drop in that it makes for nice, sort of efficient fishing, not too manic like in the summertime. It's you're not looking for £250 now, although it's fishing well actually. And I think I've got quite a good weight now, but we'll see. So, so there you have it. We're just about to weigh in. There's only one set of scales apparently today, so they're going to be a little while. I think we got about £170. It's been a really lovely day. Caught across on them pellets till that wind got up, and that sort of messed us up. We flicked the feeder around, but our heart weren't really in that, was it? We had one on it, but we weren't really taking it that seriously. But then we've had a few more on the pellet, on and off. Short line again, letting me down. I've had a couple on that maggot and a few eyed, a couple of skimmers and that, but nothing really. I'm not sure pellets would have been any better. In fact, I started with pellets, didn't I, on the top kit +1, the short 4 straight in front of the nets in about 4.5 foot of water. But those edges again have come good for us. I don't know where £170 has got us at the moment. I think we're up there. I'm not saying we've won it, but we're up there. So we'll see just a little bit. Whatever we do, we just want a little bit more of it come Saturday, don't we, on the Ace of Acorn? Okay, see you in a bit of the way.
For all you bum chums out. Well, we're on page 34.
Yeah, but is it plugged in? Is it supposed to be plugged in?
Oh, it's plugged in. Is it supposed to be plugged in, Bob?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Rest of
Okay,
it.
everybody.
Fly